Hello internet! Recently I came across this video titled 23 tips I wish I knew before visiting Ljubljana, Slovenia. As a Slovenian, I love to see what other people think of our small little country, so it's always fun to watch videos from people who grew up in either UK or the States or any bigger countries to see their impression of Slovenia when they come to visit. I haven't watched this video because I thought it would be an interesting way to watch it in front of the camera, since a lot of you have really loved the Slovenian reacts to American living in Slovenia. So let's just get started.
Ljubljana and the rest of Slovenia are by far one of the most underrated places in the entire world, but there are some things that I wish I had known before visiting, so I'm going to share those with you today. So we're going to talk about some cultural things that you should be aware of, going to give you some money saving tips.
Money saving tips? I think people who are from Slovenia and live in Ljubljana could use those based on Brent recently. Like, what is happening? Okay, this video is not about this.
Actually stay in some of the best day trips because you're going to want to do some of those, and I'm going to tell you my biggest mistake that I see a lot of other tourists make as well.
Juicy.
Ljubljana itself has a beautiful castle. It's one of the most charming downtowns I've ever seen. There's some beautiful churches. They've got a river that cuts through the middle. It really is a place that you can walk around and have a great time. So don't sleep on Ljubljana itself. Also note that Ljubljana itself is a really clean city. Maybe the cleanest city I've seen in all of Europe. And I think you could say that about Slovenia as a whole. It's a really clean country.
That is very accurate. So there is a law that they can charge you up to 800 euros in Ljubljana for throwing the garbage in the wrong garbage bin. In Ljubljana, there are many garbage bins on every corner, including recycle ones. So you have recycling bin for paper, recycling bin for plastic, and recycling bin for glass. And then sometimes you even have bio waste, and then you have normal waste. You will know by the color of the bin which one is which. And then if you misuse them, they can fine you up to 800 euros based on this article. I didn't make this up, so y'all can find me in the comment section all you want. In 2014, Ljubljana actually became the first European capital to move towards zero waste. The city has managed to multiply its separate collection of organic waste and to reduce the amount of waste sent for disposal by 95%, while maintaining waste management costs among the lowest in Europe. Generally, what he said that Slovenia is one of the most clean countries out there, it is true because it is also a high principle of community, of everyone keeping Slovenia clean, because I think Slovenia is generally very health conscious country to begin with.
Next thing to note is this is a great city to carry around some sort of refillable water bottle. They have fountains all over the place and their tap water is some of the best in the entire world. Don't waste money on bottled waters, just have something refillable. You're not...
Absolutely, that is absolutely the case. One of the many things that I miss about Slovenia is the tap water. I cannot stress this enough, how delicious tap water Slovenia actually has. You don't know that until you start traveling or living in other places. Our tap water is phenomenal. I don't buy bottled water at all when I'm in Slovenia. It tastes so good. So definitely, if you travel to Slovenia, have a refillable water bottle, because not only that there are fountains, what you can also do is just walk into a bar and, you know, just kindly ask, hey, could you please fill my water bottle?
Let's talk about some of those money saving tips. So this first one has to do with the Ljubljana castle. And while you can pay for it, you don't actually have to, and a lot of tourists don't realize that.
You can see Ljubljana castle for free. You can also just walk up to Ljubljana castle. It takes like maybe 15 minutes to walk up. You have several different ways to get up there. You have either the stairs, you have a certain path goes through the forest, you have a road with a sidewalk. Yes, a sidewalk, my American friends. Slovenia was able to build a sidewalk on a windy hill road in the capital city. What? People can walk on roads? Never heard of that. There is a very large portion of the castle that you can check out. The area around the castle is phenomenal. The perfect spot for picnic. Views are phenomenal. It's always nice to go up there and just see the city and the orange roofs. So, and it's free, so.
Also note that you're not going to have any issues communicating here if you can speak English. We've been back a few times and it always seems like English is kind of the default language, so don't worry about not being able to communicate.
That is very true. We begin to learn English at a very young age. They implemented learning English when I was growing up at the age of 10. You pretty much start learning English off the bat because everyone watches things with subtitles. There is no dubbing except for maybe cartoons or a few kids movies, but the majority, like 98% of media that you will consume on TV, actual cable TV or streaming services, will be subtitled. So that's how you learn languages really fast. That's how I learned to speak English when I was 5, just by watching TV shows and movies. That's how the majority of people learn English, and then we also learn it mandatory in school.
I started a newsletter that I send out every single Tuesday with a weekly update about where I'm at, because I moved to a new country every single month.
Did you just say he moves to a new country every single month? Alright, so maybe this might be a good time for my own plugins. It helps if you join this channel. I also have coffee.com and Patreon that you can join. Engaging with the video, commenting, liking, subscribing, all of that shit helps.
Ljubljana is going to give you great access to so many awesome places, but the first thing that you're going to want to note is that you're probably going to want a rental car for this.
I definitely recommend renting a car too, because there's so much to see in Slovenia. And 1, you can stop anywhere you want, and 2, you get access to places where public transit doesn't go. Having a car just makes it so much easier to explore the country. The country is extremely small. You can drive from one spot to the other spot in the entire country diagonally, probably in like 4 hours and a half. That's how small we are. But there are so many other regions that you can see in Slovenia outside of just the capital.
If you're wondering where you should actually stay in Ljubljana, I'm not going to overcomplicate things. This one's actually really simple. Anywhere within this circle is going to be great. And that's because Ljubljana is really, really small. It's a really safe city. And because it's so compact, anywhere in this circle will give you easy access to everything that you're realistically going to want to see. So
yeah, Slovenia is super safe. I don't feel at all weird walking around at 11 p.m. midnight in the capital. Also taking public transit, not a freaking problem. It is very easy to use public transit in Ljubljana. You have an app now that you can just reload with money, or you can also just rent out a bike. It's very easy to rent out a bicycle in Slovenia.
The third place that is really accessible from Ljubljana is Lake Bled. And I'm sure you've already heard of it, but
Lake Bled seems to be one of the most popular tourist destinations in Slovenia. I've seen every blog and every travel channel visits Lake Bled, and in the summer it does get really, really crowded over there because of that. So I recommend visiting outside of summer because you will get so much more out of it, especially in the winter. It looks like a winter fairy tale.
Second thing to note is that you can actually take a boat ride to the middle island, and I'd highly recommend it. It is just a beautiful lake. There are no motorboats, so it is one of the cleanest lakes I've ever seen.
That is very true. There are no motorboats or jet skis allowed on Lake Bled. We don't have that type of culture, the boat culture that I see here in the States on some of the lakes, where there's like massive parties and people shooting fireworks on 4th of July and, you know, littering and all that. None of that is allowed on Lake Bled or Bachin, but you can go paddleboarding or you can take a boat tour.
Tipping culture in Slovenia, it's not really a thing. You can do it. Typically 10% is going to be more than enough, but it is not an expectation that you tip. So keep that in mind.
That is very true. We don't have a tipping culture, but yeah, if you do spend a long time in a bar just drinking and not moving, do tip your servers.
But let's talk about that biggest mistake that I made and I see so many other tourists make as well. And that is that big media really likes to talk about the big countries in Europe, and a place like Slovenia and Ljubljana rarely get talked about, so people think that you don't need to spend any time here, and that couldn't be further from the truth. This has to be one of the most underrated places in all of Europe. The people are wonderful, the scenery is spectacular, and the culture is such a fun thing to explore and learn about.
That is adorable. People in Slovenia will be very kind to you, especially if you're a tourist. Let me know in the comments what you thought of his opinions on Ljubljana, and if you are not from Slovenia, have you visited Ljubljana? And obviously don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and blah 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 blah. I'll do that, all the YouTuber shit that I'm supposed to say, and that'll be it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.